Hi everybody, by the end of this exercise, you will be able to paint something like this. Hi everybody, welcome to our first practical exercise. We will explore your current skills and interests, and even if you have never even tried to make anything artistically, you will be able to follow these steps. And if you are already familiar with drawing and even painting, sure you will find something that you can add to your routine as an artist. So things to consider first. Before diving into our exercise, take a moment to consider your mindset and environment, okay? Ensure that you have a comfortable workspace with good lighting. Gather all the necessary materials so you won't be interrupted. And that's it. So for this exercise, we are going to need some plain paper and anything that you can draw on it. It can be pencil, it can be a pen, it can be a marker, it can be a brush, anything. And we will also need a pair of scissors so that we can explore a bit shapes, forms, and compositions. Prepare yourself mentally by acknowledging that art is a process of exploration and learning. And it is important to let go of the fear of making mistakes and embrace the journey of creativity. This will set the stage for a positive and productive experience. And remember, do not imitate, okay? I really hope that you will not only simply copy whatever I'm doing here. If you find it easier, then okay. But whatever you are seeing me doing here is only a guidance. It's not a rule that you have to follow. So let's begin by gathering the materials, then place yourself where you can get a good lighting, and we will create a simple portrait today. It doesn't matter if you have a model or if you will just create it from your own imagination or memory. We only need you to get comfortable with creating without the pressure of needing professional grade skills or supplies. We will focus on outlines, proportions, using basic shapes without worrying about details. The goal is simply to observe and translate what you see into paper. This exercise will help you to get comfortable with the act of drawing, and hopefully it will help you see that art can be made from anything and anywhere by just using what you already have and what you already know and love, okay? So let's get started. In order to create a portrait or any figurative artwork, you need to organize shapes to convey the theme that you want to portray. So what is a portrait? Portrait is the representation of a human figure, though it can be of any animal. But for this exercise, we will focus on the human figure only. So if you have never tried anything drawing, maybe you can find it easier to draw a human by doing just this. So far so good. Let's try it again. That's another beautiful lady, isn't it? Let's try once again. That's another beautiful lady. So what is different? What do you see in these three samples that we did here? We are just dealing with simple lines, and what differs one from the other is how the lines are distributed in the paper. This is just lines that, accordingly to how they are distributed, they resemble something that your mind already recognizes. So if you want to try it differently, what we can do is simple like this. We can draw some eyes. Let's make 4 sizes of mouths. So we have our shapes. So what we're going to do, we're going to cut this because you're going to use this later. So what we need to do in order to make this an actual face, we need to add the features, okay? So let's start by adding the eyes and a nose and a mouth. Is it enough? What if I add some hair? Is it okay now? So what if I change these eyes for something bigger? Let's say this. And what happens if I put these eyes over there, the mouth in here, and replace the nose with this? What happens if I put it in here? Can you still see a face? What happens if I decide to play around and put a big eye, look at this, how fun it can be. A big eye with a small eye, maybe this. Can you still see the face? What if I do this? Can you still see the face? What if I decide to put the two big eyes here? As you can see, all we are doing is playing with shape in space. Drawing is as simple like this. It's like you need to organize your living room. So you know that the sofa is going to be that corner, the other sofa is going to be the other way around. So it's the same thing. You're just organizing shapes into a given space. For instance, let's say that you don't like this hair. You would like her to have, is it better? What if it's not this nose? What if it's this nose? What if the eyes are a little bit apart? What if she has those eyes and this mouth? What if she has very closed eyes? Do you understand now what we are doing here? I hope you understand what we are doing here. We are just, playing around with shapes and seeing how much they change, how much they can convey an idea just by playing with them. So, what we have just learned is that drawing is nothing than adding shapes to the space. It's just that. So, for instance, if you want to draw a woman, you just need some expression. Then you define where the head will be. Then you decide where the neck will be, and everything else will follow. For instance, we're playing with very simple shapes. We have an oval here, we have some lines here, and the same things that we were doing over there, and we have some hair. Let's give some neckline. This is just some lines forming some shapes that will make your mind associate with something that you already recognize. Drawing is just that. Drawing is just giving lines something that you recognize already, okay? So if I want to draw a man, what do? Or maybe we can try to make a man the same way we did the ladies. And here we are, we have our man. Okay, you might be thinking that these early attempts appear amateurish and lack the professionalism that you were expecting. And that's true. And this is just our first exercise. Our skills will naturally improve over time. So enjoy every moment of your creative exploration. So keep on practicing, and thank you for joining us.